I don't want to ever be the type of person who knows the right thing to do and doesn't do it, even if it hurts, even if it's a phone call that says, hey, 8 years ago I messed this up with you. Today's my 30th birthday, and it's very early in the morning. I'm in the basement, and it's the reason I'm kind of whispering. Our kids are still asleep upstairs. The last few days have got me really thinking just about all kinds of things. Thanksgiving, and Whitley and I were sitting around the table on Thanksgiving night, and we're talking about how we are the happiest in our lives that we have ever been. That a year ago us wouldn't believe the amount of happy that we are today. And it really got me thinking, and I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna wake up early tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna have a cup of coffee with you, and I'm just gonna share with you some thoughts that I've got about turning 30. And 2020 has been so interesting, and maybe we'll talk about it one of these days. Maybe we won't. Maybe it's just one of those things better left. But one of the things that's got me thinking about is, like as I was going to bed last night, the last night of my 20s, significant. I was thinking about the night before I turned 20. I was 19. I remember thinking like, oh man, like tomorrow's the day, you gotta step up, you gotta be an adult. It's all serious from here on out. And I remember there just being like this almost like low grade anxiety about turning 20, about having to step into adulthood and have your stuff figured out, and all this craziness, and it's time to be serious. I was just contrasting that with how I felt last night before waking up this morning and being 30. Interestingly, the difference that I feel now is I feel like turning 30 is like finally stepping onto the court of the game. I feel like in a lot of ways that like 20 was, the 20s were maybe getting to the game and getting changed, and then 30s is actually stepping onto the court for the first time to play. And that's the only thing I can think of. I'm thinking of all of this time ahead, and like I want to keep playing this game forever. I want to keep playing this game of life, keep playing this game of building the family and building relationships and just all these different things, because it's now I'm realizing the biggest contrast between 20s and 30s is it's about having fun, and it's about seeing opportunity and not giving into cynicism and all these different things. I spent so much time of the last decade focused on wanting people to take me serious, on wanting to keep up this persona of professionalism and always being right, and and all these kind of different things. And what I'm realizing is it's like no one has it figured out. No one does. And so much more of life is about focusing on, in what ways can I just instead show love? In what ways can I be the type of person that people come to when they need help? In what ways can I be the type of person that when someone sees them, they think, yeah, they kill it at their job, but they're also just a lot of fun to be around. I have regrets in the fact that I spent a little bit of time this past year thinking through some people who I needed to call and apologize to. And we'll just leave it at that. That's one of my regrets in my 20s, that I thought I knew way more than I did, and that I probably, that I did hurt some people along the way in that. More personal note, like I didn't take hardly any vacation days my entire 20s. I saw so much value and so much perceived expectation. People who don't take their job seriously take vacation days, or that people will respect me more if I work more. And after a decade of working 60 plus hours a week, I'm good. I'm good with that. I'm good leaving that in the 20s. Granted, I still do work too much, but I'm gonna get better at that. We had a wild wake-up call with my mom 2 Christmases ago, pretty close to exactly 2 years ago here in a few weeks. And having the type of cancer she does, has really opened my eyes to like seeing what my dad kept telling me the first 6 months that she had been diagnosed, which was like, I don't want you to regret not spending the time with her. And that really has that shift in my mind of spending just so much time with mom and dad over the last 2 years, and that gave me the courage to make a lot of the decisions that I made this year. Because here's the one thing that I have learned: actions have consequences, and at the end of the day, I'm responsible for my life, and I'm responsible for the people that I impact. And I will not live my life in a way where I misuse that. It might have taken me all of my 20s plus a couple months up until 10 months ago to learn that. But that is one thing that I feel like has gotten its way through my incredibly thick skull. Are people going to remember me for being someone who spread hope and not fear? Are people going to remember me for someone who was about an extravagant, almost wasteful amount of love rather than guilt and shame without qualification? I want my kids to remember me as being the person who was safe to be around, the person who did the right thing when it was, even when it was hard, and even when you had to stand alone. I want to be the type of person that other people look to and they say, like, he gave me the courage to do it. Because I'll tell you, to be honest with you, I saw some people. There were people in my life who, especially lately, have shown up in big ways and given me courage when I didn't have any. And so that's what I'm thinking about. All of these things, just put them in your lap. I have so much to share with you. I'm really excited. And I thought I might share with you some of those things in this video, but I don't think so. I'm just gonna let it be what it is. Here's what I want you to know. You were loved more than you could ever know. And the world today is much better with you in it. I'll tell you the other stuff in another video. I just want you to have the best day possible. For me, that is your birthday gift to me. You have the best day possible for you. And have a cup of coffee, for goodness sake. If you could give me 2 gifts, have the best day, and then also drink a cup of coffee for me today, so that, and even better yet, do it while you're watching this video now at the end after it's already over. See you guys later.